Matthew chapter 5 and verse number 4. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. We live in a time and an age in which mourning has been distanced in every way possible. Our ancestors used to live on the farm. Animals would die. When grandma died, the wake would actually be in the house. But we've grown so uncomfortable with mourning, with any negative emotion that we have pushed it as far away as humanly possible. And so we have the ICU ward. We have hospice care. We now have celebration of life services. We don't even have a funeral anymore because we are so uncomfortable with mourning. And yet here Jesus says, blessed are those who mourn. What is it within God's kingdom that has an ethic, that has a value toward mourning? I think the emphasis in this moment is to the extent that you and I that can recognize the truth and lean into the sorrow, it then empowers us to embrace and enjoy what is good. You see, the problem with pushing away mourning is it has a downside that we've never even thought about. But whenever we begin to push away and deny negative emotions, it weakens our ability to embrace positive emotions. And so in many ways, we can become stoic. But when you and I begin to lean into the bad, to admit the sorrow, to have our heart break for our own sin, for the brokenness of this world, for the sinfulness of others, it then opens us up for the possibility of appreciation and value. About a decade ago, I was preaching through the Beatitudes, and I got to the idea of blessed are the peacemakers, and I thought, this is great marriage material. And I began to work through all the Beatitudes, and it ended up being a book called Happily, built on the Beatitudes and marriage. And yet the very last one, the one I thought wouldn't work in any way, was this, blessed are those who mourn. I thought, how does that fit into marriage? But then I began to recognize, I can never fully be the husband that Jenny wants me to be. Jenny can never totally be the exact person I want. Even our marriage at times will not live up to the standard that we desire. And yet, as I admit my own weakness, as I see that we aren't everything that we want to be, I then begin to see who we actually are. I see the value in who she is. I see what I can add to her life, the beauty of what our marriage actually is. And as she and I mourn what we cannot do, it gives us an appreciation for what is. Jesus here in this passage is calling us to value something our society doesn't value in any way whatsoever. It's a repentant, sorrow-filled understanding of the brokenness of our lives and this world. If you and I will lean into that, the unintended byproduct of that will be a deep sense of gratitude and appreciation for all the good that is around us. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted.